Are you ready? Chingones and chingonas. I'm saying, are you ready for the trilogy that everyone's been waiting for? The trilogy above all trilogies. The one, the only trilogy that matters takes place this weekend. Which one am I talking about? Oh man, we are talking Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora, man. Oh, damn, Holmes. Hey, what's up, chingones and chingonas? Los tres chingones boxing total trucker here, man. My boy Mike Zavala could not make it tonight. Why are we doing this tonight? Well, that's because not gonna be able to make it tomorrow. So usually we go on Friday nights. That's not changing. It's just changing for this week. But we're pretty much all busy tomorrow. So that's why we're on here tonight. My boy David Contreras will be on here, but he's busy right now busting some bad guys. So stop riding dirty unless you want David with his big ass hands, homie, to come and put some work in on you. And you guys don't want that. I'm telling you guys. I met him in person, man, numerous of times. And hey, dog, I live my life right. What's up, G Funky? What's up, Impala? G Funky, you ready? You ready for the trilogy of the century of the whole boxing world? Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora. Holmes is going down, dog. Move over, Gotti versus Ward. Move over, Ali versus Frazier. Move over. Just all the just move over, man. Make that room for Fury versus Chisora. Hey, man, let's bring in El Gran Chingon, El Mero Mero out in Florida. My man one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey, brother. Hey, man, I'm excited about this big trilogy you're talking about. And I know it's not Tyson Fury and Chisora. I know it's not that, but I'm excited about this big trilogy, man, that is going to happen this weekend. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. And I know I could see you're wearing a Pendleton. It's cold over there right now. I was talking on the phone to a contact in Mexico. I was outside and it's 78 degrees, and it's 10 o'clock. No, it's 8 o'clock over here at night. So we got warm weather, and you got cold weather. Pero we're talking boxing.
Does it get cold in Florida, David? How cold does it get? Like, give me like the worst day.
You know what? Last year when I was living in Fort Lauderdale, I think the coldest it ever got was maybe 50 degrees. And this was like in January. And to these people over here, it's freezing. People are wearing jackets and it's nothing. You know what I mean? Now that I'm over here in Tampa Bay, they say that the coldest it gets is maybe 40 degrees, but it's only maybe 3 or 4 days a year. The rest of the year, it's warm, it's beautiful. And our rainy season in Florida, believe it or not, is your summertime. When it's summer for you, it's pouring down rain over here. When it's raining for you, that's the best weather over here. A common day is 75 degrees with no humidity, 80 degrees, no humidity during our winter, your winter.
Wow, man.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So even when it rains, it's not that cold over there, huh?
No. In the summertime, when it's pouring down rain, literally it's pouring down rain, and it only rains for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then it's a beautiful day. The water, it's 85 degrees in the ocean. That's something that us Californians are not used to. But could you imagine jumping in the ocean? It's 85 degrees. I mean, California, I think the warmest I remember was probably 76. Acá 85, and 76 was good. It's usually 68, 69 in California. It depends where. In San Diego was usually like that. Pero acá, 85, no, uno se a gusto en la playa. It's beautiful.
Hey, what's up, Andres? Cubo Chingones, it's 45 degrees in Hollister and windy and rain. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So first, a couple of things, man. So one is next Friday, not tomorrow, if you guys are watching this live. next Friday, which is the 9th,
The
right?
ninth. Yes.
The 9th, December 9th. That's pay time, man. If you guys don't know, let me remind everybody.
Uh,
We had a bet right here on Los Tres Chingones Boxing about the fight between Crawford and Spence. Okay. Was it going to be made this year or was it not going to be made this year? Okay. So, and then the one, and the, you know, the payout was 100 push-ups. So it was not made this year. So this gentleman right here, one Mr. Big Bad David Contreras, is going to bust out 100 push-ups live next Friday. And I challenge everybody, man. I'm challenging everybody. Join him. If you can only do one, that's fine. Do one. If you can do 100 or anywhere in between, that's fine. But challenge yourself. Get down there. We will do it live next Friday. The payout is there right before the Crawford versus David Avedian fight. So yeah, David, you still feeling good and confident that you could bust them out all at once?
You know what? For whatever reason, I do 100 push-ups every day, but I do two sets of 30 and one set of 40. I mean, every day. First thing, I do my push-ups. I've been doing that probably for the past 15 years. Just my push-ups. Pero now that I'm on this challenge 100, I'm stuck at 80. You know what I mean? But I got another week to break it. Pero for whatever reason, it's right here. It's not here. It's right here that when I hit 80, comienzo a temblar. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. This is, yo no tiemblo. You know what I mean? So sabes que I got another week to cross that barrier. Pero my goal is 100. And you know what? I'm purpose-driven, mission-oriented, and that's my purpose, and that's my mission, and I'm going to accomplish it con la ayuda de Dios.
Man, even 40 push-ups straight, man, is tough, man. That's I give it to you, Holmes. I give it to you. So yeah, that's to everybody, man. Again, 100 push-ups, David Contreras, next Friday, December 9th, live right here on Los Tres Chingones Boxing. And hopefully, this I think one of the things that happened, David. I think the boxing world is gonna see this. And because of those 100 push-ups, they're going to feel gacho, and the gods are going to make the Crawford versus Spence just because of those push-ups.
That's a sacrificio. That's a sacrifice that I'm giving the gods, the boxing gods.
What's up, Hectic? All right, so let's just recap just a little bit of the fight, the Prograis and Chon, man. I went to go watch it at the G Unit Twins household with Bobby G. We were there. We watched it. I watched the entire card. The whole card was good. The entire card. We sat down. We watched the entire card. I thought it was great, man. I thought it was good. There was not one fight on that card where I was just like, come on, man, this sucks. All of them were good. Now, none of the fights to me was like at the edge of my seat, like, man, this is the best thing. But all of them, I was entertained with every fight. David, were you?
You know what? I was entertained, believe it or not, on the female fights. And I'm pulling up the fight card right here, the names of the girls, because I didn't memorize them. But I'm telling you, Ed, I was impressed, man, con las muchachas. And you know me, I'm not a big fan. Anything, I'm not a big fan. I've never watched female fights. I think the first one that I actually watched, one of them was Cenizas. I like her, Ceniza Estrada. The other one, no, is it Ceniza Estrada's one? I think the other one is the one that wears a red cape. That's from East LA. Is that Ceniza Estrada? Okay, I like her. And then and then the other one, when I saw Taylor and Serrano, and then I just saw one that Shields. Clarissa, I'm telling you, I saw her. But this one, Evelyn Bermudez versus Yocasta Valle, that 10-rounder world championship, that was a great fight, man.
It was. It was. I watched it. I was highly impressed. Like you, David, and I've said it on here numerous of times, man. I'm not that big into women boxing, but look, slowly it is growing on me. Certain fights and certain fighters are starting to grow on me, and I'm starting to pay more attention to it. So, and that's coming from a guy that I didn't really care about women's boxing. So, you know, kudos to them, man, because I was impressed. I didn't know any of these girls. I was just like, okay, man. I started watching round by round, and I started paying more attention. I'm like, damn, especially a homegirl that refused to take a seat. I don't know if you noticed
Yeah.
that. There was
Yes, I
one girl
did.
on there, she did not take a seat. They didn't have a stool out for her. She just
Yeah.
went back. She actually lost the fight, but she just walked
Yeah.
back. She stood up. She never took a seat. I was like, man,
And,
that's a power move, Holmes.
and you know what, Ed? She had good style, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she had better style than a lot of professional male boxers. I mean, she
Mm.
looked good, but La Otra had that Mexican style, throwing to the body. It was a great fight. Yeah, you know what? I was really impressed with that fight. And we had for Marv Nation, Marvin Rodriguez on our
Mm.
show. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Remember, Ed? We had him on a
Yes,
Friday
yes,
night.
yes.
He talked about this fight, and he was really excited. And we mentioned those names. It went over my head when he said that. I go, who the heck are these women fighters? And to be honest with you, when he said women fighters, that was the co-main event. In my mind, I'm thinking, why are you doing that, man? I mean, you got so many great fighters on the Regis Cepeda card of women, but you know what? He knew something we didn't. And you know what? These girls, you know what? To me, they took the night, man. They took the night.
I,
It
it,
was
it,
uh, it was
it
a
was good.
great fight. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was really good, man. Kudos to those ladies, man.
Yes.
And
Yes.
look, now I'm interested in seeing these ladies fight again, wherever they go,
Yes. Me
wherever their
too.
careers go.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos on them because I'm not that big of a fan of women's boxing, but yeah, it's growing on me. It really is. Certain fighters
Yeah.
are definitely growing on me. So man, what's funny is
Uh,
the very first fight on the pay-per-view card.
mhm.
The people I was hanging out with, man. Shout outs to the G Unit twins, Arturo Garza. Shout outs to Bobby G. They actually were kind of connected to this fight because they knew or they know the family of Martinez.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
yeah, and I walked in and they're like, "Hey, who are you going for, Vargas or Martinez?" I said, "Vargas. I think this is tailor made for Vargas." And they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? So am I. But we know Martinez's family and everything." As a matter of fact, after the fight, they went ahead and reached out to the family. Hey, is he okay? Because he took. I'm not gonna say he took a
Yeah.
big beating, but he
Yeah.
went down pretty good. And look, it was a complete mismatch.
Yeah.
Vargas, that he looks good, man. Out of all the Vargas, and I was listening to you and Mike in Espanol, and
Yes.
this Vargas that fought in this card to me stands out above all the other guys, man.
Uh-huh.
The other brothers, I'm not saying they don't look good. I'm not saying they don't have a bright future in front of them, but they do. But this kid, this one right here, this kid looks like he's got the entire package. I'll say you, David.
You know what? I agree with you. You know what? And what I like about him is that es muy respetuoso. He's
Mm,
very respectful and he honors his father. You know what I mean? He honors God first, and then he honors his father, and then he honors his team.
mm,
And I was really surprised when I saw. I keep killing the guy's name, Klimas. Klimas, he's the manager for I mean, not Triple G, from Usyk and also Lomachenko. He
mm,
manages him.
mm.
So for Klimas to manage him, the Russian, that means that, you know what, you're absolutely right, Ed, and I agree with you. He's special. This kid, he's going to be a world champion without a doubt. He's special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Martinez, I don't know. It didn't look like he trained enough. He didn't. He just didn't look good, man. He was just way outclassed. His hands looked a lot slower.
Yeah.
His body didn't look in complete shape. He was smaller, so like Fernando was saying, he wants to move it slow with his sons, and yeah, they should, man. This kid's got a real bright future, and I'm really liking how they're interviewing Fernando Vargas after the fights because he's
Yeah.
always got something good to say.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
in this one, I don't know if anybody remembers, but he said that, man, I tell my kids, you guys really want to be fighters because, man, like I don't even remember. I can't even find my car sometimes.
I saw that.
So that's
Yeah.
something. What's up, Dos Matador?
Yeah.
Um, so I always look forward to seeing Fernando in the post fight interviews because he's
Yeah.
always saying something, man. Not too long ago he was saying, he was talking about his son. He's all like, I told him, come on, Vato, you don't want to fight, Vato. Hey, Vato, you don't want to get in boxing, Vato. And I was just like, there we go. That's what I'm
There you
talking
go.
about.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly,
I
man.
that's what I want
Yeah,
to see. So, but
yeah.
no, in all reality, this kid,
Mhm.
this Vargas kid, out of the rest of them, he stands out. The rest of them, they can have a great future and possibly even a better career. I don't know. But if I'm choosing one that's really gonna stand out and be, a real big game changer in the sport of boxing, it's this one.
Yeah,
He looks really good, really good. And how you said, David, like he's very respectful. That's kind
yeah.
of weird, man, coming from being a son of Fernando Vargas, because Fernando Vargas, man, he had a mouthpiece on him.
Yes, he did. He did.
He had a mouthpiece on him. He was very flashy. He was not this calm, cool, collective type of guy, man. He wore his emotions on his sleeve and he let everybody have it, man, with his mouthpiece. But I do like this kid. So I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm glad he got the victory, and we'll see where it goes from here. David, you got the names in front of you. Who was
Yes.
this heavyweight?
You know what? Before I do that, let me just throw a quick shout out to G Funky Boxing. I follow him on Twitter, and I actually love watching his show. Whenever I have time, I watch it live, or I'll usually watch it, 2 or 3 days later. But G Funky, congratulations! He just got, I think he doubled his audience, people watching him this year. And those of you that enjoy Los Tres Chingones, if you like a good boxing show, also look at G Funky, look him up on his YouTube channel. The guy is outstanding. He knows boxing. And not only that, but his intro is out of this world. Remember that intro?
Yeah.
The Godfather, dude. And he loves music, man. So I like that, just like Pomona sound. With that said, you know what? Before we talk about the heavyweight, I just wanted to touch on this. What did you think about Charles Conway? He's a former Olympian. He fought against Juan Carlos Abrillo. And that was a good fight. He didn't knock him out, but I mean, he was hitting him with everything. I mean, you could hear the slugs. What did you think about him, Charles Conwell? He's not a well-known guy, but you know what? He is a 154 pounder. What did you think about that fight?
All of them were good. I mean, his fight, all of them were good. What I think about it, good fight.
It wasn't a great fight. It wasn't a great fight. It was a good
Yeah,
fight.
it was, good fight. 154. I don't know how far he can really go at 154.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
I think he can put on some entertaining fights, but once that competition starts going up, I just don't see it in him. I don't.
No. Está muy chiquito. He's too small for that. I want to see him go down to 147, and I want to see him fight Boots Ennis. I think Boots will beat him, but this kid hits like a mule, man. I mean, pega como burro. So I would love to see him. Plus, he has that Olympic background. But I think I agree with you 100% there, Ed. He needs to go to 147 if he wants to be a world champion. I don't see it at 154.
Yeah. I don't see it either, man. At 147, maybe he can do a little bit better. But even then, some guys just got it, right? I don't mean when I say that, I don't mean that they don't have to train for the fight and it's just natural ability, but some guys just don't. They can only get so far, they can't get to that top peak, and I just don't see it with him either. I kind of say the same thing with somebody like Jojo Diaz. His work ethic is great. The guy can work, but it just isn't there to get to that very, very top level. It's, and I see it the same way with this guy. So good fight, and I think and I'll be entertained watching him fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now the heavyweight you were talking about was Bakhordir Halolov. He's the one that was he was a Olympic gold medalist. And I don't know if you remember, he fought against Torres for the Olympic gold medal. And Torres is the heavyweight that fights out of Tulare, California.
Yeah. Yes.
They fought. That was the last fight. I was impressed with this guy. First of all, Curtis Harper is a piece of crap. I mean, he's already given up even before. You heard about him, right? He's the one that was getting ready to go in the ring. And because something happened, he got up and left the fighter in the middle of the ring, never fought. So, and then when you saw when he headbutted him, that guy's a cheater. Okay.
Yeah.
But this guy, he reminded me a little bit about Tyson Fury. Just the guy's 6'7", weighs 250 pounds, but the way he moved around the ring as a heavyweight. What did you think, Ed, about that?
That was the one thing that stuck out to me, the way
Yeah.
he was moving around the ring. You know, there are some great heavyweights that are coming up. Richard Torres Jr. being one of them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I like his look, man. He looks like a 70s porn star. He does. But there are some good heavyweights coming up, and it's not the heavyweights that are making a name for themselves just by being big. You know, they're
Yeah.
actually got boxing skills, man. And this guy, I'm gonna be real, I've never heard of him before, but I was impressed. Now, his opponent, yes, you know, who's his opponent, man? Oh, well, but just seeing the guy's footwork, seeing the way he moved around the ring, seeing how he was picking his shots and his punches, I'm like, okay, you know what? This guy, man, just keep him busy, keep him in the ring, keep him going, man. And this guy can do some really good damage. I really like
Yeah.
this guy. I really do. I am so interested in
Me
seeing
too.
him again.
And you know what, Ed? What I'm more excited about is who's training him. You know who's training him?
Who was that?
Diaz, Joel Diaz.
Joel Diaz,
Yeah, Joel
out of the
Diaz. I mean,
Coachella Valley. Yes.
you saw how close the Russians are. After the fight, Bivol was there. All the Russian champions, all the Russians were there, except once again, I mean, what's the name? Olisek and Lomachenko. But everybody that trains with Joel Diaz, they were at his corner. And you know what? I'm excited, not only because, you know, I like the way he fights. I think he has a good future, but because another Chicano, a great trainer, Joel Diaz, is training them, and they're all training right there in your backyard, brother, right there in Coachella.
They're out in the Coachella Valley, man.
Yeah.
You know, big ups to Joel Diaz, man, because
big ups to him.
I'll tell you this: after Timothy Bradley, what's up, Raider Los Angeles? After Timothy Bradley left Joel Diaz, and Joel Diaz just kind of, I would see him train fighters, but a lot of them were losing. He wasn't getting any big names. You know, he was training Omar Figueroa, and we all know what happened with that. And I was just seeing Joel Diaz, and I'm like, hey, man, you know, Joel Diaz is really falling off, man. A lot of the guys that he's training are a bunch of, you know, no-name fighters, and he's just losing. But I'm gonna tell you guys, man. Last few times I've seen Joel Diaz, you know, he's starting to get up there, man. He's starting to get up there. He's pushing, and I like the movidas, man, that he's really making. So we interviewed him at the Jojo Diaz versus William Zepeda fight. He was training Homegirl on that fight. And he did great, man. He did great. So kudos, man, serio, to Joel Diaz, because at a point I was just like, damn, this gacho, man. You know, Timothy Bradley seemed like that was like the big thing for him. And once Tim Bradley left, it seemed like Joel Diaz's career just kind of went down. But no, man, it's starting to pick back up.
Yeah,
it's starting to pick back up. So congrats to Joel Diaz, man.
And you know, Ed, I don't know if you know, but he's co-training Bivol. Actually, I believe he's his full-time trainer now. Bivol. I'm almost positive. I'm not sure, but I know that he's either one or two, the second with Bivol. So I mean, he's there.
He's definitely there. He's definitely got his hand in there. Yeah. So that's something to look out for. Hey, David, we bring it to the main event, man. People were saying that this is the big fight of the year. It was not that, but it was a good fight, man. I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was a good fight. I picked Regis Prograis to win by unanimous decision, and he actually stopped them, but it was actually the referee that stopped it. But David, tell us about the fight, man. What did you see? How'd you like it?
You know what? We called it. The first 2-3 rounds were going to be slow, and it was going to eventually pick up. There, we missed it. The reason why we missed it is because I think Regis Prograis just looked sharp, man. I mean, I can't complain. I can't criticize anything that he did. The only criticism that Mike and I talked about last night is him having the Roy Jones syndrome, where he at the I think it was the sixth, after the sixth round, he started putting the hands down and coming up and bouncing around, coming up. Good lateral movement, good leg movement, good feet position, good head movement. But that's when he got clocked. And you saw him after the fight. I mean, his face was no estaba desfigurada. It wasn't disfigured, but you could see where he got hit. And it was when he put his hands down. That even though we didn't see all the connections, but I'm telling you, even what did he say after the fight? He goes, "I've never fought anybody that fought me as hard as Cepeda. You know what? You're going to be a champion. I've never been hit this hard. I've fought a lot of guys, but nobody as hard as you." I mean, that's a compliment, and you could see that his body was tattooed up, by Cepeda.
Yeah, it's definitely a compliment. And the fighter that Mike was looking for last night is from Argentina, Sergio Maravilla Martinez.
Yes,
who fought with his hands down too. And look, one of the best fighters I have ever seen in that short period of time is Sergio Maravilla Martinez. I'm not saying he's the greatest fighter of all time, but when he was really good, that was like one of the greatest fighters ever for that very short period of time that I have ever seen. But man, Regis Prograis, man. Look, he went in there, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yes,
and very excited for him. Where I'm not gonna say the sky's the limit for him, because people gotta remember this guy is 33 years old. He no tiene tiempo. He does not have time to sit around on his hands and not stay busy in the ring. This guy's got to keep getting busy in the ring. Very humble at the very end, which I didn't really like. I'm gonna be real with everybody. I didn't like the fact that he didn't call anybody out. It was a really good fight. Chon Zepeda was, in my opinion, losing the fight. I thought he won a couple of good rounds, sure, but had it gone to the scorecards, it was going to be Regis Prograis, man. Prograis just was more locked in. He was doing more damage. He was landing more. And, Chon Zepeda, he had his moments. Don't get me wrong. He landed. Like you said, David, it's not like Prograis came out unscathed. No, man, you could see that Prograis, he took a couple of good shots. Now, coming out and saying that this was the fight, the hardest fight that he's ever had, says something. Okay, it could say that Chon Zepeda is that good, or it also could say that Regis Prograis maybe isn't as good as he believes he is. That I don't know, but there's a lot of great competition at 140, and I like to believe, after what I've seen from Prograis, that he can be the guy at 140. However, 33 years old, man, you better get moving.
Yes,
man, you better get moving, Holmes. Okay, because you're gonna start losing it. You're gonna start losing some speed. You're gonna start losing that all that good stuff, man. I'm not saying you're losing it now, but you're getting close to it. You got to start moving your career along. I can't remember the last time I seen him fight before this, man. And he does not have time to be wasting around, David.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know what? I want to see him fight Jose Ramirez, and I want to see that fight maybe in May or maybe June in Fresno at Bulldog Stadium, Fresno State University. They will pack that place up. That's what I want to see. The next fight, I want to see him either November or October, fight Josh Taylor, but fight him in New Orleans. Fight him at the Coliseum. Fight him at where the Saints play. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, I don't know if they'll pack that place up, but I know they'll pack up Fresno without a doubt. Because you know what? Jose Ramirez is esa área. He's from that area, and he will bring in the raza. And we're the ones that buy the tickets. But if I could see him fight Josh Taylor, I think he beats them both. But you know what? It could be 50-50 with Ramirez. I think it might be 50-50 because you know what? Ramirez is a bulldog. The guy is faster than Chon, even though I believe Chon beat him. That's another story. Pero I want to see that soon. And then right after that, I want to see Josh Taylor. And then once he beats those two, If let's see where Teofimo is. Let's see if Teofimo can jump in there next January.
And Paula, we're gonna get to that. What's up, Joaquin? Look, I agree with you on the Ramirez fight. If it's in Fresno, I believe they sell it out. However, the fight down in New Orleans, I don't think it sells out. You know why? Because Regis Prograis doesn't sell that well. And I will say this too. I said this earlier this week, and if people saw this, while this was a good fight, neither one of these guys are big ticket sellers. And from what I saw, okay, just watching it on television, Dignity Health Sports Park, it doesn't hold a lot of gente. It's a great place to go watch a fight. It does not hold. It's not a big stadium. It looked pretty empty. I'm just being real. It looked pretty empty. I don't know what number I could put to it. I would say it looked, man, maybe 40% empty. I don't know, David. Did you see like a
you know what? I had some numbers. Yeah, I saw some numbers, but I'm not going to say them because I'm guessing for whatever reason 25,000 comes to mind, and I know it wasn't 25,000. But I read how many people somebody put it on Twitter. But you know what, Ed? I think after this fight, Regis, those of us that love boxing, those of us that are boxing aficionados that watch it, every weekend. We know who he is. Your common fan doesn't know who he is, but I think after this fight, his name is going to start going out. And you know what? I think that he's going to be big. He's going to be big. But I agree with you. He has maybe 2 more years if he's lucky, because then he'll be he's 33. He'll be 35, and that's right there, the cusp of going over. But that's why he needs to make these fights happen. Like I agree with you. As soon as possible, get Jose Ramirez out of the way, and then go after Josh Taylor. Before Josh Taylor, like Joaquin says, is going to go to 147. And if Josh Taylor goes to 147, there's a lot of guys that he could fight right now at 140.
Yeah, you know the thing about Regis Prograis, he doesn't seem like a hometown boy. Not a lot of people really know that he's from New Orleans. He doesn't seem like he's really connected with his city the way some other fighters are. Terrence Crawford, everybody knows he's from, Omaha, Nebraska, Ramirez in Fresno. Like a lot of these guys are connected with, and they're hometown boys. For one reason or another, I don't know what it is, David, but it doesn't seem like Regis Prograis is really connected with the city of New Orleans. I don't know if maybe because there's probably not a special out there, or maybe there is and it's not that popular because I haven't seen anything. But it doesn't. Whenever I think Regis Prograis, when I think of other fighters, one of the things that comes to mind is, okay, he's from here, he's from there, is their hometown. I think Regis Prograis, man, he's just a fighter, a good fighter, but I don't really connect any dots of, hey, where's this guy from? I don't know. He doesn't seem like he has a great connection with his city, man. Do you get that, David?
You know what? First of all, I don't know. I know that he's the second world champion to come out because Boom Boom Bancini during the broadcast. And by the way, kudos to Boom Boom Bancini, Raul Marquez, and Rodriguez, the homicide guy from LAPD. I forgot his first name. They did a great job. And then Conte, one of the female. I'll tell you, man. Hey, kudos to Marv Nation. The guys that he had calling the fight, they did a wonderful job. Did they make a couple of mistakes? Everybody makes mistakes. But you know what? I love the way they called the fight. They were great. And he's the one that corrected. I think Raul Marquez had said that Regis was the first champion, and he corrected him. He goes, no, there's been another champion. But I think he's the first champion that is a two weight class or 3-time champion out of New Orleans. This is a little bit out of the subject, but I'm going to mention it because when we go to the fights and when you watch the fights, I'd say probably 80%, and I don't care if they're in Minnesota or even in Nebraska and New York, are Latinos that are there. I'd say 80 to 90% are Latinos that are there. I've seen it in Minnesota. I mean, I look around the crowd, and when the fight was in San Diego, 90% were Mexicanos,
Yes.
maybe 1% Puerto Ricanos, maybe 2% white, maybe 3 to 4% black, and everybody else were Mexicanos. I know we're at the border. When you
Mm,
go to LA, it's the same thing.
mm,
We, the Mexicanos, and the Latinos, the Puerto Ricanos, Hondureños, but it's more Mexicanos, we support boxing. So maybe that's why there in New Orleans, you don't see too many Mexicanos. So it might not, I mean, I'm talking out of line because I don't know the demographics there, but
mm,
it might not be as big as it is in Texas, as it is in New York with the Puerto Ricanos, the Irish. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm.
Maybe it's that. Ed, I mean, I don't know. I would have to do some research on that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's a hometown boy of
Yeah,
New Orleans, and maybe New Orleans just isn't a big boxing town.
boxing
But
town.
look,
Yeah,
I mean, look, neither is Omaha, Nebraska. You don't think of Omaha, Nebraska, and be like, man, that's a big fight town. But Terrence Crawford
he made
made
it.
it that,
You're
and
right.
they
You're
go
right.
out and they
Yeah,
support him. I don't
yeah,
know if Progress has that with New Orleans, but hey, either way, look, I like
yeah.
seeing him. I like watching him.
Me
I didn't
too.
like that he was too nice
Yeah,
after the fight. I wanted, he's all like, oh, I'm not gonna call out anybody. Why, man? Just call somebody out.
yeah,
Even if that fight doesn't get made, just go ahead and call it out. Say like, hey, you know what? Call out a few names if you want. Oh, you know what? Teofimo is here now. Go, what's up, man? Just call out a few names, but he chose not to. So, hey, whatever, man. But hey, I just still want to see. I definitely want to see Regis Progress, and I think Chon Cepeda can put up a couple of good fights too. I
yeah.
really do. But
Me too.
yeah, we'll see what happens with him, man. Um, all that being said, David, let's get to what Impala was throwing on right
Yes.
here about Regis Prograis going out and putting it. He put it on social media. I don't know what platform he put it on there.
Twitter. He
That
put it on Twitter.
he put it on Twitter that his check bounced or that the money was not there, what have you. Let me go ahead and say this first. I don't like it. I don't like that Progress went out and did this and put it on social media. Now, I
Yes.
don't know. Maybe he reached out to Marvin, and maybe Marvin gave him the cold shoulder. I got no idea, because if he did, then I'm like, okay, fine, put it on social media. But if you didn't, why would you put that on social media, man?
Yeah.
Call up Marvin, be like, hey, what's the deal, man? We've had Marvin here on this
Yeah.
channel. He seems like a really straight shooter, seems like a good dude, and the promotion is just barely getting underway. Since then, it's come out. Well, I'll let you go, David. Go for it, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? Last night I texted Marvin. He immediately answered me back.
Mm,
And what happened was the bank, because it was the amount of money that it needed, I believe, 24 hours to clear the check. And when they gave him the check, either they told him or they just says, just wait a day or two. This guy cashes the check, insufficient funds, which the bank should have covered, but they didn't. It was a mistake by the bank. Regis Progress jumps the gun. You would think that these guys have attorneys, that they
mm,
would call the attorney, the other attorney would call the other attorney. I'm buying a house in Florida right now. I don't go through my real estate agent. Well, actually, I do, but we go through attorneys because the amount of money that's involved, and an attorney has to be involved. So you would think that he has an attorney or his manager who would make the call. But Regis, right there, I mean, why would he put it on Facebook? I mean, on Twitter, and then everybody jumps on it. They're calling Marv Nation, they're liars, they're thieves, they're piece of shit, wah wah wah. You know
mm,
what I mean? And they didn't even give this guy the benefit of the doubt that it was the bank's fault. But Marvin Nation today came out and they explained what happened. Regis has been paid. He's not going to go on and say I haven't been paid. He's been paid. But in 24 hours, it just showed the negativity a lot of these people have, that when they see something negative, they jump on it instead
mm,
of just standing by. You know what I mean? Hey, my respeto to Marv Nation, to legends, because you know what? Like I said last night on our Spanish show, I'm hoping that they're the next Golden Boy. And what I like about it, Oscar's from East LA. Marv Nation is from Montebello. He's a pastor. He helps drug addicts, helps kids, helps huérfanos, viudas, homeless. I mean, the guy's doing great work in the community. So, I think us as raza, us as people, forget the raza, as people, we need to give a person like him, his company, the benefit of the doubt and help them grow so they could become the next Golden Boy. Why just have one when we could have two?
that's no, that's
Yeah,
we got patent that on the shirt. Why have one but we can have two?
two.
uh
No, my wife's not gonna like that though.
hey,
Yeah,
I don't want two of those, I'll tell you that, man. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that. What's up, Shawana?
Shawana?
Remember Charlo with debit card all drunk? Yeah, that guy's an idiot, and we'll definitely get to him too. There's news about him. But look, you know what? Look, if I don't get it, I don't know why Progress will do this again. Why put it out on social media unless, like I said, unless you reached out, which already goes to show that you did not reach out. Okay, it means you did not reach out.
No.
But the only way I would do something like that is if, David, if you owed me some money, right? Because I worked for you, and then the check bounced. I'm not gonna come on here and be like, hey, you know what? The check bounced, man. I'm gonna hit you up, and I'm gonna continue trying to hit you up. Hey, David, you know what's going on. Now, if I can't get a hold of you, if you keep going giving me the cold shoulder, there's no explanation, all this, and time goes by and there's no kind of response. Okay, then maybe I might think about coming on and be like, hey, you know what? This vato's trying to do me dirty, man. I've been trying to get a hold of him, and the check's no good. Now I can see, and now I can be like, okay, cool, man, I understand. But that's not what happened here. We're talking about 24 hours. Progress, what are you doing, man? Why would you go on Twitter, try to make somebody look bad like that, man? This promotion company is barely starting to come up, and it was just a 24-hour wait. I think that was a bad move by Regis Progress, man. And while I do like seeing him fight, I don't know, man. This kind of puts him a little bit on my bad side, man. How about you, David?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Arturo? That's right there. That's where I went to go watch the fight.
Oh, okay.
Right there with the G Unit twins, with the Garza family. Him and Bobby Garcia had a great time. Great time, man. We were just there having a couple of beers. He forced a shot on me, and man, we were having a great time. I loved it, man. Hey, Arturo, we got to do it again, brother. We got to watch another fight again, man. It was so much fun. It really was. By the way, one of his sons uses tres flores. That's what I'm talking about, Holmes. That's what I'm talking about. Making me proud, man.
Yeah.
One of his young kids, one of his young sons uses tres flores, homie. That's what's up. That is what's up. Give us Regis versus Pitbull Cruz. I think Regis is a little too big for my man.
Yeah,
He's
too
just 100%, Joe, especially when they gave him the chance to make that much money. Yeah, I don't get it, man. That was just a dirty move, man, by Regis Progress, man. What up? And I like him, but that was just a dirty move, man. I don't like it. But hey, man, congratulations to Marv Nation Promotions, and we will definitely be on board and be watching what they do next. I really hope they keep going, man. I really do, because I know they're gonna keep going, but I mean, at this level, this was probably the biggest fight that they've had on the biggest. So far, this has been the biggest stage they've been on. I'll put it like that. So hopefully, they keep going, and look forward to having Marvin back on the show, man.
Yes, without a doubt.
Really down to earth guy. So with that. I know we got some fights coming up this weekend, and we're going to get to them. But just real quick, David, I don't want to spend too much time on this. David, what do you make of this Charlo Bivol thing?
Charlo's an idiot. I mean, really, man. I mean, he's talking to Bivol, and he's making sure the camera's on, and he's on his left side. He wants to look pretty for the cameras. And then he tells Bivol, you want to fight me? And then Bivol, who barely speaks English, what? You want to fight me? Yeah, fight you. Okay, fight for my belt. You don't have no belts. And then Bivol tells him, well, you fight me what weight? 168. Yeah, for the championship. Well, are you going to ask Canelo? I mean, when he asked him that, and Charlo's all, I'll fight you at 160. He goes, no, I'll fight you at 168, but with a belt. When you get a belt, come back and talk to me. And then Charlo looks at him and he goes, well, let's fight for the people. Let's fight for honor. Okay, we fight for honor. Goodbye. And then he leaves him. You know, the guy was drunk, man. And you know what? Ali Sekbak put a video where a Chicano was challenging him to fight him. And Charlo's, they hold me back type of thing. You know, that's one thing about that Charlo. Wherever he goes, somebody wants to fight him because he's always drunk. You know, drunk or under the influence of something that's legal or illegal. It doesn't matter. So there it is right there. Really, he's challenging Bivol. Bivol would kill him at 175 and probably at 168 also. But you know what I noticed though? He was taller than Bivol. Did you know that? I mean,
I don't think
know that.
Yeah, no, people don't realize, man, that Charlo's pretty big. He is pretty big, so he can move up, but he chooses not to. Yeah, Arturo. Yeah, his son El Gallo is the one that uses tres flores, man. Made me very, very proud, man. So, no, just real quick, man. I don't want to spend too much time on this clown, but look, Charlo has not fought this year, and he's not going to. This is so stupid. Oh, you want to fight me? You want to fight me? I'll fight you. And just like how you said, David, the whole
it was phony, man.
160. Wait, you want him to drop 15 pounds to go fight you for one belt? That come on, dog. Oh, we'll fight at 168 then. Man, look, this fight's not gonna happen. And for the betterment of Jamal Charlo's health, it's a good thing that this fight's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
because if this fight happens, I mean, they're bringing out the stretcher. They will bring out the stretcher, and they're gonna carry Jamal Charlo out of the ring. Bivol will destroy this guy, even at 168. He will destroy him. This is not even like I don't. Let's get to the fights, man. Let's get to the fights for tomorrow. Now we all got. There's two trilogies. There's two. There's two trilogies. Hey, Chingones and Chingonas, man, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Which trilogy are you guys amped up for, Holmes? Which one are you fired up for? Okay, are you fired up for Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora, or Chocolatito and Estrada, man? Which one are you guys fired up? To me, they're neck and neck. I don't know, David. Maybe you might need to convince me which one I should be fired up for, man. Nah, in all reality, David, what do you make of these of the fight tomorrow? I mean, Fury, Chisora, I don't know. Do we need to spend time on it?
No, let's not spend time, man. It's a waste of time. Man. Yeah,
Fury got the fight won already. I don't even really care. Am I gonna watch it? I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. So, but man, this one, Chocolatito, Estrada, doing it again, and rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. This fights like this is what makes us fall in love with boxing, David. It really is, man. Talk to us what you think we're gonna see Saturday, Holmes.
Hey, brother, before we talk about that, if it's okay with you,
let's do it.
The undercard is a great undercard, man.
It is.
I mean, you got Mark Castro from Fresno, California, Salvadoreño, half Salvadoreño, half Chicano. You got Austin Williams. Don't know much about him, but I like Diego Pacheco. And Diego Pacheco right now is being trained by Jose Benavides versus Adrian Luna. That's going to be a good fight. Joselito Velasquez versus Christopher Rosales. Don't know much about Joselito or Christopher Rosales, but Julio Cesar Martinez, we all know him. Versus Samuel Carbona. That's going to be a good fight for a flyweight. Martinez's flyweight title, which is 212. 112. So that's going to be before the main event. Yes. Once again, a great card, man. I'm looking forward to all of these fights tomorrow before the main event. What do you think about the undercard?
Yeah, no, it's great, man. It's a lot of great fights. Not a lot of big like superstars, but see, this is what I tell true boxing fans. I'm telling all the Chingones and Chingonas watching this. First of all, Arturo's over here talking about my celebration dance, man, because I picked Regis Prograis and he was going with Chon Zepeda. Hey, I just got up, did a little thing, and did a nice little kick to the air, man, little patada to the air, just in celebration. But No, look. Well, I'm telling all the chingones and chingonas, man. Okay, you want to get people to watch boxing, right? A lot of the times, casuals or non-boxing fans tune in to the so-called major boxing matches, right? And one of the biggest ones was when Mayweather fought Pacquiao. That was a complete dud. And then you got people talking about like, oh, this is why I don't like boxing. This is why I don't like boxing. No, get out of here. Okay, that's not what real boxing fans were really waiting for. Fights like this, cards like this. This is why you share this card to the casuals. Are there big major names? No. I mean, Estrada, Chocolatito maybe, but a lot of times the small guys they don't get popular like that. Mm-hmm. Share this card. Okay, this is just not a fight. This is a card that you can say, yes. Hey, check this out, man. You know, we'll fight we'll watch all the matches, man. Crack open a couple of brews and let's watch all the cards. You know, we'll BS a little bit so they can see why real boxing fans love boxing, because this card is going to be great. And that main event is going to be great as well, man. And damn it. I just like I said earlier, this is why we love boxing, man. I think it's gonna be a great card. I really do. A lot of those names, man, they're all bangers and they're ready to rock and roll. And I love it. I love it, man. But David, man, Chocolatito, he's getting up there, Holmes. He's getting up there in age. I forgot how old he is. I think he's 35. 35, yes. Man. Does he still got it? Does he still have enough for Estrada?
Okay, you know, I see Joaquin Zamora. I got Estrada. He's a little fresher. You know, Joaquin. I don't know about that fresher thing. When Chocolatito fought Julio César Martinez, le dio una paliza. I mean, Julio César Martinez couldn't even swing at the end of the round. At the end of the rounds, I mean, he just gave him a boxing lesson. I mean, it showed the levels of boxing. And Julio César Martinez is a great fighter, pero he just gave him a boxing lesson. When el Gallito Estrada fought Correa, I think it was in October, right? Or I thought October or September. You know what, brother? He didn't look good. Either that or Correa was very good. Correa just fought last week or the week before, and Correa looked terrible against a guy not as good or at the level of Gallo Estrada. So when I saw both fights, I compared Correa must be real good, or either Gallo Estrada se le está bajando. You know what I mean? And when I saw Correa fight last week, Correa did not look good as he did against Gallo Estrada. With that said, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great fight, but I see a knockout. I don't see this fight going to the cards. I see a knockout, and I see Chocolatito knocking him out either in the 10th or the 11th round. I see a knockout on this fight. I don't think this is going to go to the cards because you know what? They're both older now, and we know that they both throw chingazos. This will be the fight of the year. I know I've said it before, but this one right here, I mean, we've seen 1 and 2, and they, as a matter of fact, on one of the fights, I believe they broke a record of how many punches were thrown in one round or the whole fight. Yeah. So I see a repeat of that, but I see Chocolatito this time being, believe it or not, I mean, like Andres said that Estrada looks fresher. I don't. I see Chocolatito at 35 being just a little bit fresher, and I see a great fight.
Shout outs to Emily Garza, man. That's one of our chingonas right there, man. Shout outs to her. Let me see. G Funky saying Estrada looked terrible in his last fight.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. I mean, we can all talk age, okay? And I'm not one of these guys that says age doesn't matter. No, it matters, but it also does matter, you know, in the fights that you've been in and the wars and the punishment that your body has been in. Oh man. So when this fight was first made, right? I was kind of going back and forth. I was up and down like a teeter-totter, Holmes, right? I was trying to balance it. Now it's like, man, you know what? I think Estrada can do it. I think Estrada can do it. The more and more I think about it, David, the more and more I am really just convinced that Chocolatito is going to let Estrada have it, Holmes.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's going to be a great competitive 8 rounds, 8 rounds. And then Chocolatito needs to be recognized, man, as just a complete cerebral assassin. You
Yes.
know, he needs to be recognized for just how great he is. Gao Estrada, he's a guerrero. Okay,
Mhm.
the guy's a warrior. I just think Chocolatito has better skills.
Mhm.
See, Estrada, you know, we can talk about how tough a fighter is, right? And how they don't have quit in them and how they're willing to die. That's good. That's great, man. All that stuff I love and I respect to the fullest. But you got to talk about skill as well. Picking those punches, taking, getting those shots, breaking that fighter down. Not saying Estrada can't do it, but man, Chocolatito, in my eyes, from what I've seen, he does it better. And come Saturday night, I'm telling everybody, man. I'm telling everybody. The dark skin Moranito man from Nicaragua is going to stop Estrada.
Yeah, he is.
He's gonna stop him, man.
Mhm.
That's
Once
no
and for all.
shot at Estrada. That's no shot at Gallo, man. But Nicaragua, homie, from Central America, he's gonna get that victory, man. I'm
Mhm.
stamping it right there, Holmes. Let me see.
Yeah.
It's all about styles. A fighter will look good or bad depending what style they're fighting. I agree with that. Look,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. It's like, hey man, he didn't look good in his last fight. Well, maybe that style gives him problems. That does not mean that in his next fight he's not going to look good because that's a different style. I completely agree with that, Joaquin. I'm not. You. That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. You look good, you look bad against one fighter, and you look great against another fighter because of the style matches. So I 100% agree with that. The motivation is different depending on who the fighter is fighting to. I agree with that too. I know Joaquin, you said that before, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
This fight, I think both fighters need to be at their top, man. They're definitely motivated. They're definitely going to train hard. They're definitely going to go in there with their A game. And if I have to pick both A games, look, I'm picking Chocolatitos.
Yeah.
So if we're going to say that Gao Estrada is going to be up and motivated and disciplined and come with his A game for this fight, that goes the same for Chocolatito, man. And my money's on Chocolatito. His skill set is just better. So Guile's a warrior, man, but he's gonna get stopped. He's gonna get stopped. You're calling in the 11th round, David?
Yes, 10th or 11th round. Hey, brother, you know what? I got a call to Mexico right
Yeah,
now at 10 o'clock. I got to make it. But hey,
got
brother, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I'll be texting you during the fight. And
it.
hey,
Got
getting
it.
ready for next week, brother. Thanks.
Yeah.
And God bless you, brother. Be cool.
All right, pues.
Vale.
Have a
Gracias. Ya
good
nos
night.
vemos. All
All
right.
right. If you guys don't know, man, David is he's in law enforcement, retired, sort of, but he's still out there busting bad guys home. So when you guys are out there riding dirty, just remember, man, David's got some big ass hands, Holmes. Okay, he does. He doesn't even have hands; they're bear claws. So if you guys are out there, homie, breaking the law, David's gonna come with his big ass bear claws, homie, and squash your head like a grapefruit. Let me see. I'm about to get out of here too. Let me see. I'm more of a fan of Chocolatito, but for some reason, gut feeling, I'm picking Estrada. I don't think it's impossible that Estrada wins. Okay. This is a great fight. To me, it's not 50-50, though. To me, it's more like 60-40 Chocolatito. Um, I just think his skill set's better, dog. He picks his punches a little bit better. They're both warriors. They're both got heart. They're both great. I understand after Soren V's side, put hands on Chocolatito, like people kind of dropped his stock a little bit. And I don't think that was right, man. Soren V-Side's a bigger dude, man. You know, and Chocolatito's punches just weren't able to hurt Soren V-Side. Outside of that, man, Chocolatito is, you know, damn, this guy needs to get the credit, man, that he's got coming to him. The way he picks his punches and breaks down his opponents is impeccable, Holmes. Serio, dog. And he does that better than Estrada. Estrada seems like he's more of a roughneck, you know, soy Mexicano type of fighter, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's, you know, we love all that stuff, man. But it just can't be all, you know, heart, blood, and guts, Holmes. Yes, you got to take that in there. Heart, blood, and guts, right? But you got to have skills. He's got skills. I'm not saying he doesn't. Chocolatito has heart, blood, and guts, and he's got better skills as well. Let me see. Hey, Cholo, but I have a question for you. But how about that? Well, there'll be another soon. You know what, Emily? Only if Arturo keeps on trashing the fighter that I'm picking, and he's over there. Oh, he's finished. He's finished. Look, he's winded. He's winded. And I just gotta celebrate because I was right. Good times though. Good, great times, man. Great times at the Garzas. I can't pick a winner. Just excited for the fight, and that's where we're gonna leave it, man. Because that is gonna be an exciting fight. Why are we doing this Thursday? Because we're not available tomorrow. We're pretty much all busy, man. So we are not gonna be live tomorrow. However, reminder: next Friday, December 9th, 100 push-ups. David Contreras owes 100 push-ups for losing the bet on the Crawford-Spence fight not being made this year. So we would do it live right here on Los Tres Chingones Boxing. According to him, he says that he can pretty much do all at once without stopping. Man, and I'm challenging everybody, you know, get down there and do some push-ups with them. Let's see how many you can crack off, man. So again, next Friday, December 9th, before the big match of Crawford versus David Avedisian, David Contreras, that Friday, live right here on the Tres Chingones Boxing, is a crack off 100 push-ups. 62 years old, badass David Contreras is going to do 100 push-ups, according to him, nonstop. They finalized Haney versus Loma on ESPN. I did not see that, Andres. I saw that Bob Arum said that they're close to a deal. That's the latest. Before we went on live, I was doing all the reading and the research. I saw that Bob Arum said that they are close to a deal, unless it's just barely happened. I don't know, but I'll definitely check into it. Victory dance, love it. Unexpected, great time, man. You guys are just caught up on that victory dance. It was a good time, man. Great times. Hey, Chingones and Chingonas, man. Enjoy the fights. There's 2 trilogies. I know you guys are much more excited for the Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora one. Handle that, Holmes, all right? Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it so we can come back and do this again. Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Until the next round, we'll catch you guys then.